That's great. Right? Oh, yeah. We're talking shoes here with Andrew Connors and Leah Anderson. This is wonderful because we're sharing shoe tips here, where we can get custom-made boots. You found a very cool custom pair for the new Killer Heels show, right?
Exactly. Well, there are a couple of really great shoemakers here in Albuquerque.
Right.
Dina McGuffin being one of them.
And last time you were on, you brought one of her boots.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
We couldn't bring them this time because they're currently on view in the exhibit at the Albuquerque Museum.
Are those Dina's?
No. The beaded ones here, these are by Terry Greaves. Terry is an artist in Santa Fe, and she beaded those high-top sneakers and then added the heel to the back of them because everybody needs a heel on your sneakers, right?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially short guys like me.
Yeah, exactly. So the cool thing with Terry's work is that she did traditional Native women on the outside of the boot, and then on the inside, those same women in beads are playing basketball. So she's talking about living in multiple worlds, that many Native people can live in traditional worlds as well as the contemporary world.
Which I think is one of the cool things about the Killer Heels show, is that it's not just, you think of shoes as being just shoes, you know, at least most of us do. And then you start going to go to the exhibit, you start seeing all of these other shoes that say something more about the world and about shoes, right?
Exactly. Like this setup by Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz is Cochiti, from Cochiti Pueblo, and he designed a T-shirt for the exhibition that you're holding up right now.
I love this. This is Virgil's T-shirt, and it's the same pattern.
Exactly. And that pattern comes from his Cochiti ceramic designs, and then he turned it into wallpaper for the exhibit, and then turned it into basically a logo for the museum T-shirt that we just got last week.
I love
So
it.
we have a lot of local artists that are involved in the creation of this exhibition. This is a shoe by Virgil's sister, Janice Ortiz, and she made it in traditional Cochiti clay. Everybody needs a high heel clay shoe, right?
Practical,
but Janice just doing incredibly diverse things, keeping the tradition alive.
I love it.
Changing the tradition and making it her own.
I love it. And then we're joined this morning, too, by Leah. And this is great. Thank you for coming on, because you're doing some very cool stuff.
Yes, I am creating a gigantic installation piece in the lobby of the Albuquerque Museum.
You are the artist in residence.
Yes.
How does one become the artist in residence at the museum? Do you have to apply and do a thing, or does Andrew just say, you're awesome, you're in?
Andrew invited me to be the artist in residence. I think they choose a different person every summer to create some kind of a piece of art in the lobby of the museum. He told me I could do anything I wanted in the space.
That's dangerous.
That's
like, you can do whatever you want. Here's
is.
like 2,000 square feet. Like,
right, and so
go crazy.
I decided to make a piece on the giant windows in the lobby, which are really beautiful. Eventually, there will be about 10,000 individual shapes attached to the window, so definitely.
These are translucent shapes.
Right, translucent, colorful shapes.
They look kind of like this, right?
This is the sketch that I created. So this is a sort of photographed, digitally altered image. Each of those windows there, you see about 18 windows. Those are about 4 feet by 9 feet, each window. And so the whole piece is about 20 feet in diameter. And then each panel is filled in individually with hundreds of shapes that are the whole piece. So each of those little images is made from that main image, like a fractal.
How do you do that? That sounds like a ton of work. I mean, do you bring in millions of volunteers to help you cut out these things? How does that work?
There have been a lot of volunteers helping cut. It's created digitally. So the original piece was a handmade piece. I photographed it, altered it digitally, and then printed it out, and then made it again by hand. So it's sort of back and forth through handmade technology, handmade, and there's just a really interesting translation that happens when you put it through all those different processes. And I won't be able to see what the piece is going to look like until it's finished. So that's the great thing about doing a project like this.
Yeah, when is it going to be done?
It should be done by the end of the month.
And how long does it stay up?
it will stay up for a year.
Very cool. So how did you guys meet? How did you end up picking her to be the artist in residence?
Well, I've seen Leah's work for years in different exhibitions around town, and one of the things that we really want is an artist not just that has a great vision, but an artist that's willing to put up with working in an environment like the museum lobby, and more importantly, willing to talk to the public. Because we really want the public to learn about the process of making art.
Right.
There's so many people that say, oh, you're so lucky you get to be an artist, and they don't realize the incredible amount of work that artists put in,
Right.
and what a difficult job it is to actually be an artist day to day. So we really wanted Leah to take on that role, not only because she's a great visual artist, but because she's a good teacher, she's a good communicator about what it is that she does.
And be a bit of an ambassador for the museum a little bit too, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And can anybody come in and just help you, or is this like, do you need specialized help, or how does this?
To a certain extent, they would have to be somebody who'd be willing to sit for a few hours and cut shapes out, but we are definitely taking volunteers, a couple of volunteers a day. We couldn't have 20 people volunteering, but if somebody was interested and wanted to pop in and cut some shapes out, that would be wonderful.
It'd be fun. What are the shapes made of? Is it just like paper, or?
They're transparent acetate, sort of a thicker transparent plastic with colored, really high quality ink on the surface, and it's printed by a sign company, and so the ink should be stable for a year in the sun on a window. So
Very cool. Is it like the acetate you see like on studio lights, the colored plastic?
similar to that, yeah, transparent, bright colors, all different colors, and so it'll be really, really colorful. Now, the image that you see as the sketch is just the top panel finished, and so the whole, it's maybe about fourth way done in the example image.
Very cool. So we've got her show, we've got Killer Heels. What else you got? I know there's a lot of other fun shows coming up this fall at the museum.
Exactly. Well, currently on view we have the Public Selects, a crowdsourced exhibition, and that came out of a group of studio visits in March. About 100 local artists.
I
opened their
voted in
studios.
that. I was
I did
there.
too.
Yeah, and then you signed in at the studios,
Right.
and then we asked you all to vote for the artist
Right.
that you wanted to see in the exhibit.
I voted
And
for
there's-
Sean Tyrone. Did her piece make it?
She wasn't one of the top vote getters,
Oh.
but
She's awesome.
but
Right.
she's an incredible artist. There's so many incredible artists in this community, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted the public to pick
love
instead
it.
of us. So there are 12 artists that are included in the show, and that'll be up until October.
I love that.
Killer Heels will only be up for another 3 weeks.
I gotta
Closes
go.
on August 9th.
We can't miss it.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't
Right.
miss it.
Very
It's
cool.
great.
Really cool.
It is. Director Dan has seen it. He said he was just mind blowing how cool it is. We'll be back in a couple of seconds in Morning Brew. We're going to talk more about, I think, Espanol. Yes, you speak Spanish.